Hello, all Antichess lovers. Welcome to my second stream for the day. I'm going to comment pf2000 against TheUnknownGuyReborn. It's the Antichess World Cup semifinal match. The winner will play against pf7, who already won the other semifinal match against Passionate Player. What I expect from this match is, yeah, it's definitely gonna be a close one. Even though I think maybe Donon Gariborn has a slight edge, but I do believe that PF has shown very solid, like his performance so far has been incredible. He has certainly shown that he's currently one of the best active players by making it that far. Yeah, all right, so this is all theory so far. Mm, Here a4. Actually, I usually look at that from white's perspective. Yeah, so a4 is the correct move. Rook d8. I'm not really sure what white has to play after rook d8. pf chose to play rook a3, but it's all Watkins so far. It's actually a surprise to me that Tugger decided to go for this one. It's usually pf who has played this against me when I'm white. Alright, so knight c7, yeah, typical maneuver for the black knight after it takes the bishop on a6 and then reverted back to c7, threatening knight b5 to open up the rook. So yeah, a5, typical move, knight e7, knight d2, yeah, developing the knight, and now knight c8. The idea behind this move is to push a6 and then to prepare knight b6 and just to open up the rook and also just create this chain of takes. b6, c7, d8. Yeah, a6, very smart move. pf noticed that now after knight c8, black guards the a7 pawn and also the e6 pawn is guarded by the king and the pawn on d7. So now it's up to Tugger to decide what to do next. Yeah, e5. I'm not really sure. Takes, knight f4 takes, king e3 takes. And then I don't think white has any good sequence, to be honest. So now actually white is forced to decide what to do with this knight. Or actually it might be not necessary for white to take any precautions, because if by any chance pf allows e4, then knight e4 happens, and if king f6 for example happens, then knight f6 follows up, which actually will be very troublesome for black, because the white knight on f6 will attack the pawn on h7 and also on d7, which are both protected, which is a big danger for black, because both ways the one of the rooks will be opened up. Instead, however, pf decided to go for knight b3, which I'm not really sure what the exact plan for white is. Knight d4 c3 doesn't do anything specific. Yeah, but still, like, black has to solve some problems which I can spot at first sight. For example, black has both rooks connected on the last rank, which is very dangerous in certain positions. Yeah, of course the king can go on either of these three squares here, which might be a good decision for black to do in the short term at least, but yeah, not sure. All right, rook e8. Maybe there are some knight a5 ideas, kind of pinning up the rook and also threatening knight c6 at some point. Yeah, of course, knight c6 right away will be a mistake for from white side because black can just take with the pawn and there is no more danger. But the real danger is if for some reason black decides to push up the pawn, then just knight c6, and then just rook a1 totally wins for white, and respectively black is gonna take all white's pieces. All right, so yeah, rook b1, not a very like accurate move in my opinion because after knight, yeah, of course it threatens knight d4, but I just don't see what it does because e d4 and then if rook b5, knight b5, if c3 happens, then black can take the white pawn with the pawn and there is just nothing. I would also probably take black in this sequence. Wait a sec. Yeah, c4 now, knight knight g5. Yeah, all right. First game, first win for PF. All right, let's watch from Tugger's perspective now. And then respectively, I'm gonna just switch the colors so we don't look from White's perspective all the time, all games. All right, so Tugger decides to go for e3 again. So second game we see second e3. Wow, this is definitely preparation. Not a very typical move for White. Usually the queen goes to h5. Yeah, now b5 I guess, or knight b8. Actually, knight b8 might be a bit risky because of queen a6, knight a6, b4, knight b4, a4, knight c2, e4, knight a1. Of course, black is not losing, but yeah, just black takes a bunch of pieces. Still, actually, it's kind of the same position might occur. Actually, not kind of, it's gonna happen. The same position is gonna happen if, of course, Tugger decides to go for queen a6. Of course, I don't mention bishop a6 because it loses to king f1 after that. Queen b5, interesting. Yeah, I guess after queen e2, Tugger had some preparation in his pocket, but after knight c5, I guess he he became out of book. Actually, I think um, PF decided to play knight c5 because it really seems very extraordinary, very unusual. Of course, purely psychologically to throw Tugger off book. Yeah, let's see what happened. Knight a6, very interesting. Now e4, yeah, of course. Um, just removing the knight f4, knight e4 threats. Yeah, f5. I'm not really sure if it's the most precise move, to be honest. But I guess black can go for knight c5 again. Probably also knight g5. Who knows? Mm, to be honest, I wouldn't really prefer to sack my knight here because it really blockades the this diagonal of my bishop, and now the king is the one who has to take care of that. Yeah, but right now, Tugger has to take some precautions against queen a4, for example. b3 doesn't work because of queen a4, ba b5, a b c6, and so on. Yeah, king d1 might be a safe option now. Queen a4, it just guards the c2 pawn. Yeah, actually, hitting a2 after queen a4 might be a bit troublesome for Tugger. But I guess there is knight c3 actually. Yeah, I'm gonna check that after the game, to be honest. I think queen a4, knight c3 was totally fine. If queen c2 happened, then king c2, b5, knight b5, a5, knight to c7. I'm threatening up the king. I think no, actually, I think it was losing actually for white. King d7, knight a8, king c7, knight c7, bishop e6, knight e6, g6 actually, knight f8, h5, knight g6, and so on. All right, let's see what happened. Knight e2. Mm, I don't like it, to be honest. I would really prefer to black to just sack the bishop without white forcing black to do so. Um, because now it's actually in this position, it's actually black's move to decide what to do, and with some other move apart from knight e2, for example, f4, I think it was fine here, creating some threats in the center. Yeah, so it was black's decision, but after knight e2 here, now you just make black decide what to do. Yeah, now white loses the king, which might be yeah, very crucial in this position. Probably I would try rook e1 with the hope of also taking black's king, like returning the favor or something. Oh, actually, is that just not losing on the spot to queen d2 and then just king f5, e6? Maybe Tugger missed that. Yeah, so pf took, white took, of course, yeah, e6 and bishop a3. Yeah, rook f8 now. Beware and watch out for knight e7 because bishop e7 and it would be actually white who was much better in this position. Then black had to go for c5. I'm gonna I'm gonna show it right after the game. I really expect that this will finish in a couple of seconds. Yeah. So just yeah, I have to watch from Tugger's perspective now again, but because he's black, f6 against c3. Yeah, I don't like it. He's down in the match 2-0 and also goes for something very passive. Queen h5 is the right move here. Yeah. Let me just, before I dive into this game, let me just very quickly uh, go through this game again. Uh, Here, what about knight c5 is what I said, and also knight g5. Yeah, Stockfish doesn't like them that much, but at least it's not that bad either. What about f4 here? Yeah, still not a great move. Yeah, I was I was wrong. But actually, knight e2 is the second best move according to the engine. Maybe I just miscalculated this position. But right now, queen b5, I really think that black has the edge. What about rook e1, queen d2, rook e6, queen c2? Oh, I guess yeah, this wins for black. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, g4 is now f4 actually. Yeah, yeah, all right. And this is the rest is just history. We also what happened. All right, so let's get back to this game. Alright, so e3 f6, a4 now, c5. Yeah, this is usually a typical stuff in the Raven defense e3 knight to h6, where just black ends up with those double pawns on the queen side. Yeah, for me, at least for me, doesn't look great for black, to be honest. So will we see 3-0, or we're gonna see a comeback from Tugger by playing this queen race? Of course, if PF decides to go for it. Of course, Tugger tries to initialize it, but it's PF's decision. Now he takes the queen. Mm, maybe king f8 or king f7. I really don't want white's queen to end up on g7. King f8 or king f7 is what I see here. Then, of course, PF can make it a lot more complicated than it actually is by taking on e5. That's interesting. Knight f6. In this position, I would really prefer to preserve my heavy pieces and just let my opponent take my pawns, to be honest. Because this is an open position, and like if you keep too many pawns, then yeah, I don't think this this is really good for Tugger. Right now, for example, he has to move the king somewhere. He can't push the pawn, the d pawn, because it opens up the bishop. Also, this knight is stuck. Those pawns completely dominated. Yeah, d5. Maybe no, actually knight c5, hits a4. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, rook b8, but yeah, Tugger Tugger just prefers to sack the heavy pieces, which I'm not sure if it's the right strategy in such an open position. Yeah, what I expect is that probably soon Tugger will just run out of moves, run out of yeah, decently good moves. Yeah, King D2 making some space for the rook. Also maybe preparing rook a1, rook a3. There is knight c5 in Tugger's sleeve though, because a4 will be double guarded. f5, f4, yeah. Now what I expect is h4, rook h3, also preparing g4. Yeah, I think f4 is a really good move in this position, just blocking the king side of Tugger. Yeah, king f6. It threatens king e5, d6, knight c7, rook d8, but I don't think it does much, to be honest. At the end, white can just calmly promote to a king, and Tugger has just a lot of pawns. Wow, 3-0 in PF's favor so far. Completely surprising to me, to be honest. Maybe Tugger will request a break. Yeah, break code by Tugger. So the rules say that each player has the right to ask for a 10-minute break. Yeah, so they will resume the match in 9 minutes from now. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I don't know if there is something more I can add to the commentary I have already provided. But let's just very quickly go through the games with the engine. Yeah, this is all Watkins typical stuff. I'm not gonna analyze it. Yeah, actually, after this move, I was unaware of what to do. I've never faced it, to be honest. As you can see, I have faced knight c7, knight e7, d5, knight f6, rook b8, and that's it. But I've never faced rook d8 here right away. Wow, it looks like this was already made for pf. Yeah, but rook b1, wow. That's such an unhuman move, to be honest. Yeah, who plays rook b1 here? There's potential knight b5 threat, which does nothing in this particular case, but in general, yeah, of course, it's because black's rooks are connected. So there is no way to prevent rook b8 from happening. Yeah, but king e3 leads to nothing. Yeah. Yeah, rook b1, I don't like it much, to be honest. Although it's the first move right now, I just don't really see what it does. As I already explained during the game, of course there is knight d4 threat, but after that, black controls the c3 square with the pawn. So after rook b5, knight b5, c3, black can just smoothly take with the pawn, and it's actually black, I believe, who is better. So let's assume that, yeah, all right, let's play the best move according to the engine. Yeah, as you can see, it's already a turnaround. It's -5 already from plus almost 4, 3 point something. It went to minus 4.8. As I said, black is better in this position. It's because this is already an early end game. You have a knight, which is arguably the worst piece you can have in an endgame. It's just so slow. Also, you have those pawns which are really far behind. Also, this pawn can easily stop them. Um, and the thing is, white has to move the knight, which is a waste of tempi, which might be very valuable in the endgame. And also, yeah, black has just a lot more pieces and can just play waiting moves where at some point white might be forced just to push the pawns, which might be just game over for white. Yeah, of course, those are some like ideas thrown in the air, like very long-term ideas. But generally speaking, this is the right strategy for black. Just move the pieces somewhere and just wait for white's pieces, especially the pawns, to come closer. Yeah. All right, let's move to the next game. Yeah. Um, flawless game by PF actually with the black pieces, which is very impressive in my opinion. Yeah, here you can see that I have played 53 games in this position, and in all games I went for queen h5. I've never gone for queen e2. But yeah, that's certainly a preparation by Tugger here. But I think he was surprised by knight c5. It's actually here where the fatal blunder occurred for white. Yeah, but it's a very hard position for white, even though it says minus zero point 0.4, which I strongly disagree with. Um, Black has already taken white's king. White is very walked. Uh, the pieces are very passive. So I would really assume that white is a lot worse in this position, which is hardly the opposite according to the engine. Yeah, it's almost equal, which I really can't like realize. But I think maybe Tugger became somewhat desperate in this position because maybe what he was thinking about, what actually went through his head was that he already was his king, his pieces are passive, like there are no any like potential threats for white which can really improve the position. So I think he already thought that whatever he plays here more or less just loses for him. Yeah, and just g4, I spotted it right away instantly that it was losing for Tagar. Yeah. All right. Yeah, 2 more minutes before they resume the match. So yeah, let's just see this game. I was actually surprised by it by for here. Queen h5 just takes the king on the next move unless black goes for g6 here, which is, yeah, it's not a great move in my opinion. Really allows white to take a lot of advantage on the king side after e4. Yeah, it's already made. So yeah, let's very quickly go through the game, and they are gonna just resume the match. Very smart actually choice by PF here not to go for the queen race, which would drastically increase the chances of Tugger to score a win. Yeah, knight f6, as I said. Yeah, king f8, king f7 is what I said here. Actually, knight h6 is what the engine likes here, but I personally don't like it because white will just have two pairs of double pawns on both edges of the board. Also, this rook is totally out of the game. No proper square. Yeah, I strongly disagree with what the engine suggests here. Yeah, let's move on. Yeah, wow, PF very accurate here. Yeah, actually, that's a yeah, very strong move. It really cleans the most powerful piece at the moment, which black had. Also, like totally destroys the center. So again, black is walked with all heavy pieces being very passive, no proper squares, just very, very, very accurately played by PF here. Yeah, and here Tugger ran out of time. Yeah, but he was still worse. So yeah, I don't blame PF for kind of flagging, if I can call it so, Tugger. Alright, so they resume the match. Let's see. Now Tugger opens with c4, doesn't go for e3 again. But as I promised, I'm gonna watch from Black's perspective since I watched the first two games from White's side. Alright, so we have c4, e6, e5. Yeah, typical theory, nothing very special. But actually, I believe that h4 is made for white here. If I'm not mistaken, if I can recall it precisely. I also go for knight d2 here, but I have analyzed it, and I think if yeah that white is winning. But if that's not the right position I'm talking about, then it's a very very similar position to this one. Wow, a lot of takes already happened. Um, which I think might favor Tugger actually in this position. Now PF has to decide if he wants to sack the rook or just move it away and hide it somewhere behind the pieces. Actually, if he decides to hide it behind the pawn, I think it's losing to f4. I'm gonna check it. Not losing, but yeah, waste of tempi. f4 or rook d8 is a must. And then I think actually f5, e5, sorry. Awesome f5. I don't know. I'm gonna check it after the game. Yeah, so PF decided to hide the rook behind the king, which I believe is the most precise move. We have b5 starting to push the queenside pawn, which doesn't have any opposite op opponent's pawn on the same file or on the same side overall. PF just tries to expand, to open up the position on the queen side. Unfortunately, Tugger writes, I'm tilting already. I don't know if king d3 is even good. I mean, if e5 there is knight h3, I guess. Yeah, I believe that PF just has to push the pawn and eventually wait for Tugger to start marching down the pawns, which I believe that is not feasible at this point. Knight a6 maybe, if Tugger decides to sack the knight, so that black can just control the b4 square. I don't know. Yeah, very tricky position. I'm not gonna lie. It's very double-edged. I think just one mistake might cost black the game, and so does that um is true for white. Did not 29 f3 work? Not at all, actually. Oh, wait a sec. If king d6, then yeah, maybe. Knight f3 is a very nice spot by ODM. I don't know. Let's see what happened. So knight e2, rook g8, king d2, rook d8, king e3, knight a6. Passionate rights, knight f3, e5, then rook a3. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think out of desperation, just Tugger decided to push f4 and just um yeah, just hope for the best overall. But there are some tricks. I thought I made it myself again. Mm, well, I think Tugger had to push e5 to be honest, instead of knight g1 here on move 26. Still e5, I think. e5, king d6, takes. Might be a draw though. Or Tugger has winning chances. But for sure, I don't think that PF has winning chances if e5 happens. f7, very smart, pinning the rook. I think rook c1 was the move. e5 now. Yeah, very interesting endgame. Let's look at it. King f2 is mate. Wow. Oh, this is a draw actually. The position I was trying to show. Yeah, this was unnecessary. I mean, yeah, just move the king away so black can just take control over the h3 square also with the bishop. Rook c6 now. To be honest, I was thinking about rook c1. Yeah, if king prom, I think king 8 is fine. Yeah. Yeah, let's see before that. Black was better. Yeah. But right here, yeah, still PF was slightly better. Yeah, rook e8, as I said, f4. And now rook d8, I also thought it. Wow, rook g8, very nice spot by PF here. Yeah, basically, because of the time travel PF was in, he messed it up. Alright, so let's watch from White's perspective now. So far I have watched 2 games from White's perspective and 2 games from Black's side. Now it's time to watch from White's side again. Wow, rook d8 again. And now rook a4 actually. PF went for rook a3 the first game, so maybe he checked it during the break. Are we actually gonna see a comeback from Tugger 3-1? Still 2 wins to go before equalizing the match, but Tugger is just capable of everything. I have played him so many times, so I know him very well. Yeah, rook a6 again. They just reach the same position where Tugger played e5 here, and rook a7, knight a7, knight f4, and then rook b1, which was the winning line for pf. Now, that might be very tricky for pf, because now he has to decide if rook a7 occurred, then rook g2, and then pf would also have the option to take on d7 and start a rook race, which I believe would be losing for him actually. Um, yeah, e5 was losing. Alright, so now c4, the point is just to start moving the pawn against this knight and try to suppress it. I would probably go for knight f4 and c5 here. Of course, white can just move the knight back, but I think it's a bit passive. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. Now a5 and knight a7, I believe. Also knight b3 crossed my mind, but that's what I actually calculated in my head. A5, knight a5, and then knight a7, but knight e7 is also a very good move. c5, knight c6 probably. Sorry guys. I still believe that knight c6 is playable. Very nice to see Tugger's comments here while he plays the game. Maybe king f2, I don't know. Knight c6 is what I expect. Because right, yeah, so in the end game, usually in the end games where there are knights and there's like a pawn which is totally alone, if I can call it so, usually the strategy is just to block the pawn on the square right in front of it with the knight. So in this position, we could see if Tugger decided to go for knight c6, we would see both of them doing this. But actually, I would take black here because after knight c6, the point is to try and see if white would go for knight b4 and just get rid of the knight and just release the pawn. Yeah, basically, it wasn't forcing, but yeah, it might have been a problem for either side. I don't know. Yeah, let's see what happened. So yeah, I believe this is a lot better for Tugger. Is there rook g8? King g2? I don't know. I'm gonna check it. Maybe it was a bit risky though. Of course, it looked losing for black on the spot, but I couldn't see it, and I think I was right. But the thing is that just white would just suck all the pieces apart from the pawn, which might have made it a lot easier for them. Yeah, so Tugger now has to decide what to sack on g7 once the pawn reaches h6. White doesn't have to rush, doesn't have to force the king to sack itself, you know, like just it totally is in the square, so there was no need to rush it. Wait, h5? No, I think this really makes the things a lot easier for black. I think f2, h6, rook g7 here, and then knight c6. Still a rook, yeah, actually, yeah, completely works out. This should be winning for Tagar, whatever white promotes to. I guess knight d5, and then just move the rook away. If somehow black manages to sack the king, this would still be a win for the rook and the knight, because the knight will be in the center in one of those four squares. Otherwise, it's a draw. Yeah, actually winning. Yeah, it's winning for Tagar. Yeah, also rook f6 would work out instead of knight e5. Yeah, but basically this is the thing I meant by having the knight in the center. That's what actually um that's what actually Tugger got advantage of. Yeah, rook f6, knight e5, top two moves according to the table base. Knight c6 still winning the move I proposed. Yeah, but more or less it would just transpose to the same position. Yeah, alright. But actually there was something I wanted to show here, which I can't really remember what it was. Oh yeah, here, the rook race. I said that it might be losing for white, but it doesn't turn out to be so. Yeah. Wow, that's winning for white, really. I would personally take black, to be honest. Well, maybe the disadvantage of black is that there is no king, there is no black king. But also white's advantage disadvantage is that black has a rook, which is very mobile in the end game. Yeah, I don't know. But according to the table base, this is a win for white. Yeah, but I believe that there was something else I wanted. Oh, this one. A5 here and knight a7. So yeah, basically the idea behind knight a7 is if white decides to sack the knight, then the stuff I mentioned, when you have a knight in the end game and there is like a lone pawn, there is like an isolated pawn. I think this is the right term. The aim for the knight is just to block the pawn right in front of the next square. So yeah, that's the main idea behind knight a7, and also of course just improving the position of the knight. Of course, white isn't forced to sack the knight. Yeah. Anyways, Let's see if there was something else. Yeah, knight before, totally, totally unnecessary for white to do. Yeah, just some totally wasteful moves from white, but also yeah, white was in a severe time trouble. Oh, this one here. Wait a sec. This is a draw actually, but it's not losing for still slight edge for black. Yeah. All right. Yeah, this was it. Let's check this game from the very beginning. Yeah, still the same opening choice from both sides. Yeah, actually this was the line I wanted to check. Instead of knight d2 if h4 is just not winning for white instantly. Yeah, it's like the third best move, but yeah, not like instant mate. Yeah, this is actually worse for white. Knight d2. I have played it 4 times and I have won twice. Oh, this is funny. I have won in this. I have won in this position exactly against these these two guys we are currently watching. That's funny. All right, anyways, but it's not made as I thought. Yeah, knight c4 and nothing else would work out for Tagar. b3 is double protected by the knight and the king. So just knight c4 just removes this knight b3 threat. Yeah, knight c4 only move. This is what also Passionate wrote in the chat. Again, PF very well on the clock. After the break, he has shown to have some severe problems with his time management. I would personally move the knight back and just start pushing the d pawn. I wouldn't sack h6. I would just allow white to push g6. What is this? I think he's just panicking. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I told you guys, the girl is just capable of everything. From being down 3-0 in the match, he manages to equalize. Wow, the same line again, really? PF doesn't seem to change from e3. Now a4 if PF wants to... Oh, yeah, actually, knight h3, yeah. They, they, they just transpose the position, but it's the same position. Yeah, also a4 would work out. And then after bishop a6, bishop a6, knight a6, knight h3 again, yeah. Yeah, again, rook d8. I really don't know this move. I've never faced it. Let's see. Yeah, I think I showed that I have faced like five moves here, five different moves, but none of them is rook d8. Yeah, I don't know. But this clearly shows that Tiger has prepared something. And actually, PF also doesn't know what exactly he has to do. In the very first game, he played rook a3, then he switched to rook a4, and now he goes for rook a3 again. Yeah. Wait. What about knight g6 here? No, it's not winning. No, it's not winning. Knight f4 takes e5. King e5 doesn't work. This doesn't work for black. I would actually also prefer white, to be honest, in this position. Wait, Tugger slipped. But it works, wow. Yeah, but I think now Tugger is worse. Because this rook is like totally unuseful. Like there is no good square for it. It has to hide somewhere behind the pawns, but yeah, it it doesn't do anything specific. It's just very passive. Wow, knight a2, very nice by PF. Maybe knight b4 is an option at some point. Maybe rook h8. d5, really? Wait, he missed knight f4, I guess. But is it winning? Wow, but if PF pushes c3, then knight c3, rook d1, knight d1, and then just f2 is double guarded. Wow, very nice spot by Tagar here. Tagar says, wait, I made it myself again. Knight f2. Oh, knight f2 now. Wait, but how is this made? He can just go back and just d3 and d1 are... Yeah, he wrote it. He has knight e7. No, I think this favors black actually. No, this can't be right. I really think that this favors black. Maybe just e5. King f6. Interesting. Wait. Yeah, actually, I see the idea behind this king march. Maybe king d4 now. Or wait, king d4 might have... Yeah, it was losing. Yeah, what am I talking? Tucker offered to draw. I would probably play king f6. Or actually, no, it would really give some space to the white's king. No, why? I would push for a win if I were black here. Let's check it. No, it's a draw. Wow. Yeah, knight f2, then just knight e7. The move we mentioned with the girl. Yeah, it's basically because d3 and d1 are just protected by more than one piece. Let's see here. Wow, even king f1 would be working here. Interesting. But I think it's very passive. It really blocks the rook and also probably knight b5 actually. What about knight d5? Oh yeah, yeah, knight f4. Oh, for some reason I thought that the knight can just move to d1. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, wow. So it's a draw all the way from here. Interesting. If I if I didn't see the table base, I would assume that black is winning here. Maybe maybe not winning in this case because this pawn is really far behind. And just white can easily just improve the position of the h pawn. I don't know. Yeah, alright. Let's see what happened here. They play the same stuff. Wow. Oh, unfortunately, Tugger says I don't remember my prep here. Wait, can Tugger survive this? I think he can after 94, to be honest. F6 takes. If Rook G, then just knight H7. Wow. 94. It really saves Tugger. C5 doesn't work because knight C5 then just it attacks two pawns which are protected. Wait, why? Maybe B5 now by PF, trying to pin the bishop. Yeah, knight d7, king takes, I guess. Bishop takes also works actually. Now the question is if Tugger wants to sack the bishop or just try to sack some pawns, but I think bishop h3 and then rook takes is just better because if he decides to sack the pawns on g4 and on e2, then the first drawback is that the bishop is pinned and then just black will start just moving the f-pawn down and then just those pieces here, the king, the bishop, and the knight can be very easily exposed. Wow, knight f3 here. Very interesting. Rook takes is a must. Bishop h3 would fall into rook a1. But it's not the greatest of structures Tugger would like to have. At least he has the knight on f3, which really prevents from the king coming to f6. Sorry, guys. Knight h4 coming, maybe. Yeah, this is the main idea. Yeah, he almost pre-moved it. Rook c2, rook c2 coming, no. Yeah, right now, for example, king e6 does nothing. If f7 happens, rook g8, I think knight promo is... No, it's not fine. King e7, knight c6, rook a5, and h6. Maybe, maybe then just h6. Yeah. Sorry, guys, I had to mute myself for a moment just to clear my throat. I have, yeah, a bit of a sore throat since today morning. Very interesting. The girl decided to keep those pieces here before promoting. Rook f3, very, very smart. Wait, was king e7 first? Hmm, not really sure what the most precise way to play this is in this case. Bishop g2 maybe. Wow, knight b5. King a3. Very interesting um, several moves by Tugger with this knight. In like 3 moves, it managed to go all the way from a7 to e8. But I'm not really sure if Tugger plays that precisely or just tries to make it very complicated because PF is really down on time. Wow, that was a very nice march by the knight. Well, I guess knight g6 and bishop h3. Hmm. Yeah, I think Tugger missed that. Knight g6 and bishop h3. I think it was a lot clearer that white was winning it. Passionate says, oh no, missed mate. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. What's on rook f2 mate? I'm just gonna propose it in the chat. Yeah, actually this really resembles the endgame we would get if we saw knight g6 and bishop h3 here. It really resembles it. Wow, very nicely done by Tagar. Another win for him. Wow. Another another win for him after being down 3-0, guys. Yeah, king f4. Yeah, wow. I'm really impressed by Tagar. Now it's actually PF who might ask for a break. He also has this right. So maybe we'll have to wait for another 10 minutes before they finish the match. Yeah, alright, we are having another break. Yeah, but I completely understand them. Just like every half a point matters. This is the semi-final match. And it's also a bit of a psychological like trick, I would say. For example, PF started with like yeah, just 3-0. He had just a great head start, and right after that, Tugger claimed a break. So maybe PF can just yeah, just like reduce the tempo, like probably also get a bit of out of shape. I don't know. And right now it's PF who does that right after Tugger manages to take 4.5 to half in the last 5 games. Maybe he thinks that Tugger really got in shape, you know, found a way to just outplay PF, and now it's PF who decides to take a break, maybe just get some fresh air and just revise some preparation. But yeah, I really don't know what I can add to the comments I have already provided. As yeah, I'm also repeating myself after the first break happened. Yeah, but since we have like 10 minutes, I'm just gonna again go through the games. Yeah, this position is really like unfamiliar to me. 32 games have been played, and Rook A3 is the most played move in 11 games, and also the win rate is actually very impressive. Also knight g5, well, but I don't like it, to be honest. Although it's yeah, although it's the first move. But I have really deeply analyzed this opening, and from what I have concluded and noticed is that usually white has to keep the knight on h3 and just not sack it on g5. Yeah, of course this might create some trouble for black because this rook is totally walked, totally stuck. Also the king can move. But yeah, without having this knight here on h3, I just don't see how the h8 rook might be activated to start grabbing the white's pieces. Also, if for example g4 happens, which might be a reasonable move, logical move to start marching the pawn against the king. Yeah, but yeah, the problem is that the g8 knight just controls f6. So once the pawn gets to g5, then uh, the knight can be sacked on f6, and then just the direction of the pawn will be ruined. There won't there won't be any g6 threats anymore. Yeah. So rook a3, the most popular move. Wow, this move, yeah, actually this position hasn't been played since 2023 June, which is very interesting. Oh, and right now it's black who usually dominates in this position. Yeah, but of course you have knight g5 here, which is very bad in my eyes, as I already explained why. Yeah, but king e3 has some staggering 75 win rate percentage. Yeah, king f3 played by pf here, which is already a new position. Oh, and it's actually the best move. Yeah, but of course we still have the engine at depth 13, which is um, far from like, yeah, you just have to take the moves with a pinch of salt at that low depth. Now rook a4, which is I don't understand it. White moved the rook on a3, and now it suggests to move it further to a4, which is a bit of a waste of tempi in my opinion. White can just move the rook right away to a4, and now if rook a4 knight e7 happens, it it's white's move and not black's move, as in the previous position. Yeah, but I really like I'm I'm totally out of book after rook d8. I really don't know what white is supposed to do. Maybe I have to check it before I face Tagar in the Antichess World Championship. Who knows? And I'm saying that because I really expect to face him, even though we are still at the beginning of the tournament. Round 2 hasn't been finished. Yeah, knight c3, very nice by pf here. I think if c4 happens, then just rook h8, for example. I feel that black has to move the rook away from the d file. Also knight c6, actually. The strategy I already explained with blocking the pawn by having an isolated pawn, when the pawn on side has an isolated pawn. Mm, knight c3 is, yeah, still the engine's preference here. What about d5? This favors white, very interesting. Maybe because of the rook, I don't know. Yeah, I don't see how this might be better for white, to be honest. Just the rook doesn't have any good squares at this point. And I think that once the d pawn promotes, this might be a draw. Like a very clear draw from what I can see. Yeah, But it's, yeah, it's very hard to calculate this properly while still having so many pieces. Yeah, I think they have to start in a minute. Bishop G4 is crazy. It actually crossed my mind, but I thought that it wasn't necessary to make it just more complicated. And just, yeah, Bishop H3, Rook H3, and I feel that black might be better. Yeah, minus minus 2.6. Yeah, alright, they resume the match. Wait, I watched from Tugger's perspective. Let's watch two whites in a row now. Still this wine, still this opening. Yeah, I mean, if I were in PF's shoes and if I kept playing the same stuff over and over again and I actually happened to lose the match, I would just really blame myself because Tugger is a very various player. Like he plays literally everything. He's very flexible. And sooner or later, if you keep playing the same stuff against him, he always finds a way to get in a position that you have never faced before. He's very resourceful, and I think and I believe that uh, the best way to like face Tugger is just to play the same thing, like to play the same stuff. Just be various, just be flexible, and just try to play everything. I personally don't consider myself better than Tugger, but I have a slight advantage against him just because I play everything against him and actually I never prepare against him. Just because I think that if I start preparing, then just he would just come up with something new, and then I would probably just, I don't know, just get disappointed that it didn't work out for me. Whenever I face him, no matter if, regardless if it's like, I don't know, basically anywhere, I never prepare against the girl. He'll always try to put me in a completely unfamiliar position. He'll just throw me off book, always, like always. So I don't think there is any need to prep against him. You just have to expect everything, and also you have to make him expect everything, and not just like keep spamming the same stuff over and over again, which PF unfortunately does in this case while he's down in the match, unfortunately. Yeah, here I don't know. Yeah, I just I'm just talking some random stuff because I don't really know what I can comment on this game. Like they already played it like 3 times, and more or less they just get into the same end game. But this feedback I gave regarding Tugger might be useful for someone who watches the entire video on YouTube, and yeah, someone who might face Tugger in a tournament. Knight f2 now. Or maybe knight g1, knight f3. Yeah, knight g1, knight f3 will potentially occupy some valuable squares in the center, but at the same time knight g1 would run into king f6, which totally prevents knight f3. King g5, knight g5. Maybe not losing for white though. Yeah, but at least PF achieves the strategy I already mentioned a couple of times by putting the knight in front of the pawn. Yeah, right now, food for thought. Wow, he's not really concerned to keep the f pawn, which is isolated and is relatively close to promotion. Instead, PF prefers to start also pushing his isolated pawn. Yeah, maybe that might be the better strategy in this case. Yeah, I really think that PF has to push it all the way to promotion. Tigger can't allow c8, of course. Yeah, but overall, it's PF with the white pieces who always starts with e3. I can't recall to have seen him play something else apart from e3. And when I'm black, I really find him hard to beat. But it seems that Tugger managed to find his weakness by playing the e3 6 and then b6. I don't know what it's called. He mentions modern defense. Maybe that's it. I don't know. For some reason, I thought h1 was always covered twice. I fear I may be losing now. Wait, really? Rook b8 prevents bishop promo. Mm, yeah, it does. But is there rook promo actually? Rook promo king f8 here, a2, here a1. Yeah, I think there is rook promo. I don't see how rook promo is losing. I don't think it's not. I don't think it is losing, sorry. I don't think it's losing. Knight c6 maybe. Yeah, I think knight c6 is essential here to play. What's the point of rook c1? I don't get it. This knight is really like it hits the edge of the board. Knight c6 would really improve the position of the knight. And now I believe that PF wasted a couple of moves when he could just place the knight closer. What about knight e4 and still knight c6? Wait, yeah, knight a6. There is no proper move afterwards. Knight b4 hits a2, knight c7 hits e6. No, wait, king e6 is king f6 is weird. Maybe the idea now is just to try and Place the king on d2 so it can hit e3. What about knight d3 now? Why? I don't get it. Knight d3 would really like make the black king be stuck in the corner here at the edge of the board. Still no knight d3 no anymore because now the king doesn't control f2. Very weird play by pf, I would say, with this knight. I don't get it. King g4 now maybe, or king g3. Maybe that's winning for pf, but who knows. King e1. King e1 is winning. Yeah, king e1 is winning. Wow. No, yeah. Every move will be just crucial. Let's watch from white side again. c4 by Tagar. Please play something else. No, he's going for the same stuff. Wow, did Tagar manage to revise his preparation during the second break, which was called by PF? Because he used to play knight d2 here. Or maybe just came up with something new right on the spot. Yeah, so now what about b5, bishop b7, or just maybe b6? So Tagar says only going for this as I believe he has figured knight g2 out. Yeah, that's what I said. Knight h3. He either prepped it and managed to revise it during the break claimed by PF, or he just came up with it right on the spot. Yeah, maybe king d2 or king d1. There's knight g4 at some point though, since h2 and f2 are double guarded. Both are guarded, sorry. Probably should have remembered what I was supposed to play though. Oh man. That's what Tugger says in the chat. So he basically forgot. Tough position for white. Yeah, drunk boys shares my opinion. I also think that it's really tough for white to play. And unfortunately that's in the like it's in the most important game. Hmm. Yeah, this bishop is totally out of the game. Maybe a4, I don't know. Tough position for white, equally for black. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I would take black here, to be honest. Still a4, I think. Yeah. But now I think just a5 neutralizes it. Yeah, but on the other hand, I understand passionate players comment that it's equally like tough for black because of still the bishop. Yeah, so both bishops are very bad. Now, white has the chances to sack the bishop by playing bishop h3. There are no intermediates, so yeah, might be good for white, but yeah, still the knight has to find a way to come out. Maybe e3, knight e2, also to control some good squares. Wait a sec, knight f3. That's interesting. Oh, the idea is, yeah, that's actually very smart. If if e5 is played by black, then I think white is winning instantly. Joe and Passionate are writing in the chat. Joe asks if it works, and Passionate says that it doesn't, which is very interesting. Is there a knight h4 now? Maybe knight e7. And then if knight f5 occurs, then just oh, wait a sec. Wait a sec. Is there a knight f5, knight f5, e4? Yeah, what about this? Knight f5 and e4 afterwards. Thank God PF didn't see the mate. Wow. Just knight g. Oh no, knight g6 doesn't work because of bishop d5. Wow, rook f8, very nice spot. Wait, but I think this is winning for Tugger. Bishop d5, e knight f5. Oh wait, there is no king c3 intermediate. What about rook b1? Rook c1 though. Hmm. f4, I think. The point is just to leave the rook without any pawns in the center and just make it hide behind the h pawns. Yeah, Tugger almost pre-moving that. So he can really like uh suppress PF. G4 maybe, or H4, F4 though. Still aims to make some cleaning in the center. Not f6 or something, no. I think this was a mistake. King d6, I think. Yeah, very nerve-wracking match. Definitely wait, there's d4 now. I think h4 was an inaccuracy, if not a mistake. What about e4 and knight e1 now? Rook promo. Maybe king is also fine. Yeah, I mean rook is is better, but wild position says passionate player. Yeah, definitely. I think knight h4. Rook f1, very nice. King d7, I think. Yeah. Yeah, looks like Tiger has all the chances to win and consecutively reach the finals, but yeah, he has to be precise and also careful not to mess up. Also, PF pulls out a great fight. Um, but definitely harder endgame to play for PF. E3, yeah. Rook D1, interesting. I would probably play knight E5 there. Insane PF is holding the position so well, yeah, that's what I also said. Wow, Rook D4. Choosing to preserve the rook. Wow, Rook F4 now. G5 incoming. Or knight H4 again. Also knight E5 is no, knight E5 is not an option. Because of king c6 and knight promo. Yeah, knight h4 again, as I said. It really prevents king promo here, actually. That's what I just realized. Yeah, rook f7, I think, or rook d4, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, king c2 actually very nice by Tagar. So he can prevent king d2 once the pawn reaches h3. Yeah, bishop promo, it perfectly works out for Tagar. That's what I was also thinking. Bishop promo doesn't lead to a draw for PF because of rook d5 and king b3 and then just bishop e5. Maybe king d2 or king d3, yeah. King fg2 leads to bishop e5. Bishop f6 maybe, but I guess king h2. Rook c7, rook b7, yeah. Is that a draw actually? That's what I'm wondering. Or can Tiger find a way to win it? Or actually, I think King f6 leads to a draw. No. King f6 was forcing to suck at least one of the pieces, either the bishop or the rook. But I think if King f6 happened and white sacked the rook, then also the bishop was almost to sack. King, yeah, bishop f8, king f8, and then king e4 maybe. Yeah, wow. I'm not really sure what happens now in case of a tie. I think two more games, the same time control. I'm really not sure. Wow. I hope you guys are on the edge of your seat. Wow, what are we witnessing right now? Neither of them pulls back. Yeah, they fight so well. Yeah, let's actually check this game. Yeah, very long games. I think there was another game which exceeded 50 moves. Yeah, Tugger seemed better here. Wow. Even the engine is confused here. Initially it showed mate, but once you play bishop g2, it's a blunder. Oh, yeah, knight f5, knight f5, e4, that's what I wrote in the chat. Wow, I was right. I was right about it. Yeah, so yeah, the engine doesn't like it anymore once it happens. And right here you can see 97, 95, and then e4. Yeah, that's the one I proposed in the chat. You can see it right here. And also I have written 24 f4. Oh, it's made. Oh yeah, of course it's made. I'm just so bad. And whatever we promote to f5 and h6, yeah. Alright, so they started a new game. Oh, it's 3-0 now. Is that the Armageddon game? Or they still have to play two games? Let me ask in the chat. That's one advantage of playing the Watkins. Yeah, Passionate is right. Oh, it's one game. Oh my god. This game decides it. Wow. Yeah, PF is out of book now, I guess. Black has draw odds. Oh yeah, so yeah. then this means that this is the Armageddon game. But I'm surprised that Black also doesn't, like, White actually doesn't have time odds. Interesting. Yeah, a lot of maneuvers here. I don't think E3 is a problem, but I would keep it really safe if I had White here, since, yeah, this is like the final game. A4, yeah, looks like a mistake. Is Tugger winning this? I think he is. Yeah, actually Rook B1 kinda saves PF. It's 0-1. E3 wins. Oh yeah, wow. Rook E1 now. Tugger qualifies. Yeah, wow. What a match, guys. What a match we saw. It's been almost 2 hours. Wow. Neither of them deserve to lose. And respectively, yeah, each one of them just deserve to win it. Wow. Very nicely done by Tugger. Very nicely done. Winning the match after being down 3-0 at the beginning. Then he scored four in the next 5 games. PF asked for a break, managed to win. Then the was game ended in a draw, and then they played an Armageddon game, which decided it all. And it was Tugger who managed to prevail at the end. Wow, what a match! Yeah, wow. Yeah, I think A4 was the move that just was the game for PF here. Yeah, very bad by PF, unfortunately. One move just lost it all. Yeah, Rook E8. Very nicely played by Tugger. Already, guys, yeah, very nerve-wracking match. PF will definitely regret it. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. He looked like he had all the chance to qualify after the first 3 games. And then something happened. Yeah, Tugger just turned the match around in his favor, and yeah, at the end he was even the winner. And now, yeah, totally deserved for him to see him in the finals, facing Pini 7, no other than Pini 7. Yeah, Yeah, already, guys. Yeah, I guess this is it for this stream. It's been almost 2 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna upload the stream on YouTube right now. It's gonna take some time. I hope that you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, for those of you who watch me live on Twitch, and for those of you who will watch me on YouTube, make sure to comment in the section below. Yeah, and see you very soon. Bye bye, guys. Take care.